Hi. Now, what have you been through lately? Interesting, disgusting, or simply annoying? Tell you what, you should share your experience at all times. Someone, somewhere, might just be saved by it. That's what this program is about. On that note, I bid you welcome to Be My Guest. On this episode, we will have our spotlight on the Lawal Drive, an access road to the official premises of Dark Communications PLC headquarters, owners of your darling station, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Trust me, so much to say about this road, but that will be after the break. Once again, welcome to the show. My name is Solomon Etuk. Welcome back. Like I said in the opening drive, we would on this episode feature the Lawal Drive, a very popular access road to the official premises of your darling station, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Now, this road is considered by many as very challenging to both human and vehicular traffic. However, we have a guest in the house, and he will tell us more. Osi Ugu is a familiar face. He is indeed the anchor of your regular program, Weekend Spot, on AIT. How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right. Talk to us about this road, the Lawal Drive. I believe there's so much to talk about. Okay, maybe we should start from the historical perspective. Tell us about it.
Lawal Drive was named after the late general manager of Dark Communication, the late Ladi Lawal, and seated on this hill is the headquarters of AIT nation worldwide, if you ask me. And giving that name was just to immortalize that very good general manager, former general manager director of the whole of Dark Communication. And for more than 5, 6, 7 years, the station has been here. And even after the death of the former group general manager of Dark Communication. So in a brief, that is just the history of this drive. That is why we have that name, Ladi Lawal Drive.
Okay, you've been on this road Mondays through Friday, sometimes over the weekends. You come into work back and forth and all that.
Exactly.
So what would you say is your personal experience?
Well, most times, most of us that are always in the office, most times we don't have time to do the normal keep fit exercises. It's a way of doing the exercises by force. The hill is a steep hill. In form when you walk, it's as if you're going back. When you walk, and it's not even easy when you're coming down rather, because while going down, it's as if you are going down. Someone is pushing you, and you're fighting against the gravity, which is taking you down. So it has been. Sometimes I see it as a form of exercise. Why some other people see it as a sign of maybe they don't like it because it's so disturbing. Climbing the hill, my brother, it's not easy when you climb the hill. Most times in the morning, and you get to the office, you get tired.
Yes, because especially when you have to, be in the office. You understand? At the end of the day, I mean, the perspiration and stuff and all that.
Native attire like
yes.
Right now. So it depends on the school of thought you belong. Some people see it. Some people, myself, it's not a pleasant experience. I won't tell you that because I'm lazy, sort of. Why some people see it as a form of exercise? You will see a very young man or young lady with a minute body size ascending the hill as if he's just walking, he's still in the park. So it depends on the school of thought you belong to. But most times people see it as a very, very brilliant task. Ascending this hill from the foot of the hill, it's troublesome, it's hectic, it's disturbing sometimes.
Okay. Now, I want to believe that even at the level of you having to come in a car, come in a vehicle, you understand? How easy is it, for you to get someone, maybe like a cab driver, for instance, to bring you up the hill?
Most times, if you're talking about the cab right now, if you have the money on you, can take a cab from AYA and to ferry you down here. But most times, if you don't have the money, you stand at the foot of the hill, you wait for other colleagues that'll be coming up, or other clients that'll be coming up the hill. And weekdays, it depends on the time. And the morning times, you might from between the hours of 7 to about 10 office hours. You see people trooping it into the office. You definitely see people that see someone that will take it probably in 5 to 10 minutes time. Then in the evening also, closing time, talking about 5, 6, you see people coming to work for night duties. You might be lucky and you get someone that will take it up. But on the weekday and weekends, it's always start getting someone that will bring it up, because one, most of the workers there, most of the staff are off duty that day. Just most of us that are essential services that come around, and it's not everyone that you see that day that has a car. So you getting a car on the weekend is always hard, unlike the weekdays, whereas people come to the office. And not even the weekdays also, you have to be careful. Like I said, the timing. You should go there and stand by 1. My brother, the sun will scorch you. Scorch the hell out of you. At a point where you have no choice than to ascend the hill. So those are the times. If you want,
even at this point, I'm already like seeing that dependency, on certain factors, for you to make it to the office, because like now you say you probably have to wait to each a ride, or wait for a colleague to come by and stuff like that.
If you're lucky, you meet a very good colleague that sometimes the colleague might decide not to take you. Or if you are maybe when I joined newly, most of the staff here don't know me, and they won't feel secure to just pick a stranger here just from the foot of the hill. So if you're a new person here, you get that chunk of stress ascending the hill. But if you have been here for a while, most of them will have interacted with you, they will have known you, they will just speak easily. So the dependency is just on the staff, and probably some client that want to, out of their meek of human kindness, pick you up. So apart from that, we have no other alternative, so that you ascend the hill with your own force, or you look for a cab that will bring you up the hill.
And you can imagine this, the totality of this. You are in when you have a good weather. What if, while it rains, what do you go through?
I think I've been beaten by the rain down there. I remember, although not just once, but not that type of heavy rain we have, like once we have like 2-3 days back. But when it happens that way, you take it as part of the hazard of the job. You take it that it's raining, so let me just take it. Or you have another option of ascending it even with the rain. So there's nothing you can do. It's nature. It's not like the sun scorching you too there. There's nothing you can do. Either rain or sun, one of them must come. But another option is, if you don't want to be beaten by the rain, you can just ascend the hill before the rain starts. I don't believe there'll be rain and you get to the hill. It's either you sit back wherever you are till the rain subsides. But other way, if other palliatives are made available like this season now, it will be easy for anybody that wants to ascend the hill from that point.
So would you suggest any form of anything, maybe whoever can do to alleviate the kind of challenges, the problem that is associated with this particular route?
One thing about suggestion now is, first of all, staff buses are available. Apart from maybe, I know they have their own challenges, because the buses are not much, and they are not, so most times they tend not to cover up. They just take few people. Probably when you go to your bus stop, the bus is filled up. So most of those staff buses, they take that route. And once they take that route, if there is space in the bus, you will join them. But if there's no space, you won't join them. You will just have to wait to see another person. So telling the transport department also to now start picking people down there. I might come there by 10. Another person might come there by 11. Another person might come there by 12. Whom do you pick? So the only thing that can be done is probably, let's say, from the resumption time is 9 a.m. Let's say 8:30 to 8:45. If you don't want to see have the hazard of ascending the hill, 8:30 to 8:45, you should be there. If you want the staff bus to ferry you to the top of this hill where we are located right now, that is just the solution. Then evening times, I still see it as easy coming down the hill than going up. Going up is always hard because you're using force to climb the steep hill. But coming down is not too that bad. So if they can just, like what I just said now, you have that time limit from 8:30 to 8:45, or let's even say 8:50. Because to climb that hill with a car will take you less than 2-3 minutes. So by that time you should be ready and you're already in the office.
Okay.
But anything apart from that, I don't think any other person in the management want to play ball with you as regarding becoming at the peak.
Okay, let me just ask this final question. Like if you have to, pick a cab, from say AYA for instance, like how much would it cost you, to have that cab bring you down to the office?
It depends on your bargaining power, but at least it should be between the range of 300 naira to 400 naira.
Okay.
AYA, but it depends on your bargaining power. You can even get as much as, I've taken a cab early this year, yeah. Taking a cab from Church of Assumption, that Catholic church down there, for 200 naira. It was a rickety taxi anyway, but I took it. I know on a good day I won't get it less than.
Some say they spend, it costs them as much as 600 naira to get it.
It depends on your bargaining power.
Okay.
Again, it depends on how sound the taxi is.
Okay.
You can't get a very choose taxi for 300. The driver won't agree. So it depends on the quality of the taxi. I think most times it depends on whom again is driving it. How, what is the aim of the driver? Is he out to maximize profit by all means? Some people are like that. They want to maximize. It's like you agree to the price or not. While some you can appeal to the conscience. Okay, can we go up there just for that? So it depends on your bargaining power. So
all right.
There's no fixed price anyway.
Okay. Hosi, I really want to thank you for coming to the show. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you are on to Be My Guest. Just before the break, there we had our guest, Osi Ugu, share with us his opinion about the Ladi Lawal drive. Let's now watch and listen as Godfrey Eruaga, the transport manager at African Independent Television, AIT, and a cross-section of cab drivers bear their minds also on this road, the Ladi Lawal drive, located off Theophilus Danjuma Street, here in Asokoro, Abuja.
If, for instance, your own personal vehicle, whether it's a new one or you buy it or Tokubo or whatever level, you are climbing this hill every day, up and down, it must have a negative effect on your vehicle, whether you like it or not. It's obvious. The engine life must be reducing, walling out day by day.
Most of the times, that hill is very, very difficult for us. And the passenger also, because of the heightness of that hill, is affecting them because of the charges. Most of them will charge them high because of the level of that hill. At times, if we must go there, most of the times we follow the back, and following the back also attracts more charges also, and passengers find it so difficult. Most of the people going from AYA to AIT, so that by any way they can be able to bring down the hill a little, so that our engine will not be much affected. Even most of the times, you see all the bumps. Some of us who drive on a manual gear engine, then we'll find it so difficult. By the time you brake on the first or second bump to climb it, we must have to climb either gear 1 or 2. So it kills our car engine. So if they can do anything to reduce it, it will be better for us.
You see that you use the engine for a year plus, it's leaking everywhere, and you just have to change the engine. Those of us using Belgian vehicles. But for the new one, there's no new vehicle you will buy that will last up to 4 years. With the same standard you bought it, it can never be because of the haze. So it is advantageous for us to be using the second newly constructed road. I've told all my drivers, and since we discovered that, I think we are enjoying passing through the other side. Even I want to pass the message to all our visitors. If you are not too sure of your vehicle, you pass through this place, and you can never get it on top. Either you will get halfway, you call us to come and help you to tow it, or we find a way of reversing and pass through the alternative route. The alternative route is the answer to this question you are just asking me. There's no point of us deceiving ourselves, because it's dangerous for us climbing this hill daily with our vehicle. The last farm is not guaranteed.
But really the experience we always have, especially when passengers or customers call us to convey them as a drop to AIT, really we don't always get it easy. Why? Is because the hill is too much for us. So I think the car I was using before, I have to change so many engines simply because of the hill. The hill is too high. So right now, presently, at times, when we see a passenger, we always follow the backyard simply because of the hill. The hill is too much. But if there's any way for the AIT to see what they can do about the hill, whether they will reduce it, then it will be very, very good for us. Why? Because the thing is killing our engine, seriously.
In the process of climbing, at times you see that a vehicle that is not strong cannot climb it. And the hill, the road is built by the air communication. I was even very happy that we can be able to have some vehicle that can climb it, but government have to intervene if to do the roads to reduce the hill. Then a vehicle that have a low engine capacity can climb it. They have to do something about it. If government can come and intervene and they reduce the hill.
For instance, you see what happened to some of the taxis, a drop they are taken from AYA to this place. If the vehicle is not sound, nobody is willing to come in. We suffer a lot of that. Most of them will drop you down here because of what they are experiencing, or because they feel their vehicle is not capable enough to climb the hill. So we thank God, we thank the government, we thank whoever that initiated this alternative route that we are using today. It's really happy. And since the commencement of usage of that road, I think we are able to save a lot of money. We no longer visit a workshop often as we used to do before because of the alternative route we are taking.
For me, at times I take 500, at times 400. If somebody says going and coming back, I will take 800. But if somebody is going, it's 500 naira.
From the if we must, because some of us, our car is very good. Then if we must charge, we charge initially. We take 300, 400, 500 most of the times. But it is not all of us. Some of us will take 500. Some of us will say 700. Some of us will say 1,000. But if we're following the bag, we will not collect 500. It has to be 800, 700, or 600.
Many thanks for staying with us. All right, we are still talking Ladi Lawal Drive and the inconvenience it poses to the road users. Don't conclude just yet because Engineer Yinka Yusuf, the Chief Technical Officer at African Independent Television, AIT, has this to say.
The advantage of using a helitop is to be able to push your signal further without having to spend so much on, if you're supposed to have maybe like a 2,000 feet mast and you have a hilltop where you can adequately put your mast, and that hilltop has an altitude of maybe about 1,000 feet, and it reduces your height of mast. The height of mast is also the height of your antenna because the antenna is loaded on the very top. If you look at what we have here, you will see on the very top is where you have the antenna loaded, and it's loaded 360 degrees on top of the. Why it is done that way is that you have equal radiation in all directions. So we call it omnidirectional, so that you have equal radiation in all directions. Regardless of whatever area you are, you'll still be able to pick the signal. But now look at it this way. You have that mast here on this hilltop. But if you have to put this mast here at the bottom of the hill here, definitely you are shooting yourself in the foot. Why? Because the height of the hill, right, is higher than the height of the mast. Now, whatever you put on the mast and this, it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to be transmitting into the hill, and your signal is not going out. So you have to be able to shoot above the hill. We call it Fresnel zone, where you have hilly areas and things like that. That blocks the signal that's supposed to be going out to the public. So you have to do everything possible to be able to shoot above the hill so that your signal can reach where it's supposed to go. In most of the places where we have our services and things like that, Gombe for instance, if you look at Gombe, the Gombe township is behind a hill. If you know Gombe, the Gombe township, Gombe where you have the settlement and things like that, it's behind a hill. And for the transmission, TV transmission, radio transmission, to reach these people, you have to have a very high mast. AIT is there, NTA is there, then Gombe Television Service is there. Gombe Television Service have the tallest mast, and they're still on an elevated land. Why did they have to do this? So that the signal can bounce over the mountain, the hills, to reach those words. Then in some places, for people to even receive the signal, they have to put their antenna in their home, also on a very tall pole, for them to be able to receive this. This is one of the reasons. The hill serves as an advantage, and it plays a significant role in your television transmission to make sure your signal is good and it travels far. You can achieve the same thing without necessarily being on a hilltop. Our station in Alagbado is not on a hilltop. Our station in Vini is not on a hilltop. Our station in Port Harcourt is not on a hilltop. Our station in United is not on a hilltop. But then the height of the mast you have in Alagbado is also quite high, because you want to be heard, you want to be seen all around Lagos. So it doesn't really matter either you have a hilly area to put your mast or you don't have a hilly area to put your mast. No, that's not the determinant. That you want to make sure your signal gets to the public, to the targeted audience, and is good enough, is strong enough. So this, the strength of your transmission, right, is not dependent on either hilly or no hilly. It depends on the technicalities put in place, your topography. You've studied it that, okay, there's no impediment to your signal going out, and then you have good enough transmitter, and at the same time you conform to all the practices, all the norms that's supposed to be considered, and that is it. Then the receiving public and you also need to educate them the kind of antenna they will use to receive your signal, how they're to position it. This is also what we did in Bauchi. Our station in Bauchi, if you get to Saranda Hotel, you see there's a rocky hill directly opposite Saranda Hotel, and our station is on the way to this other. Then when you are transmitted from those sides, you have to, those behind Saranda Hotel cannot receive the signal, because Saranda Hotel is high. There's a rocky hill in front of Saranda Hotel. So for you to be able to receive anything like this, it then means your antenna will be very high. An external antenna, not indoor antenna.
Welcome back. You've heard it all, I should say, about the Ladi Lawal drive in the last 25 minutes or thereabout. But really, I reckon it's your choice to make if you must have any reason to consider the Ladi Lawal Drive either for business or pleasure. However, we believe it will be a welcome development if authorities concerned would come up with possible initiatives to alleviate the sufferings of both pedestrians and motorists on the Ladi Lawal Drive here in Asokoro. All right, that wraps it up on this episode of the program, and it's been nice doing it together with you. Of course, feel free to contact us via the numbers on the screen if you wish to share with us what you've been through lately and also be our guest on this show. On behalf of the entire crew, I say thank you for being a part of the show today. Let's do it together again next week. Remember, at all times, speak your experience. I am Solomon Etuk. Bye for now.